How shipping really works, a beginner's guide to importing from China. Hey, be the creator, not the consumer. This is Angus. Last year, over $500 billion worth of products were imported from China to the US. But guess what? You don't need millions or even thousands to get started. In this video, I am showing you the entire shipping process. Whether you're looking to source your first product or scale your existing business, these 7 steps will transform the way you think about importing from China. Why import from China? The numbers tell an amazing story. China remains the world's largest trader in goods. In 2024, China's total exports grew by 7.1% year on year to reach 25.5 trillion yuan. But there's more to it than just impressive statistics. In 2020, manufacturing labor costs in China were around $6.50 per hour, while in the US, it was about $25 per hour. Here, factories are massive establishments that can handle huge production runs with impressive efficiency. These facilities have spent decades perfecting their processes, and they're equipped with state-of-the-art machinery that can produce goods quickly and reliably. Another great aspect is the ease of the import process. You don't even need to visit Chinese factories to place bulk orders. You can arrange everything from the comfort of your home. Now that you understand why China is such a powerhouse in manufacturing, let's talk about shipping from China. 1. Understanding Chinese export ports. Did you know that China has over 34 major ports handling international cargo? But the truth is, not all ports are the same. The port you choose can significantly impact your shipping costs and transit times. The largest ports like Shanghai, Shenzhen, and Ningbo Zhoushan handle about 70% of China's maritime trade. But that doesn't always mean they're your best option. For example, if your supplier is in northern China, shipping from the port of Qingdao or Tianjin could save you time and money on transport, even though Shanghai is more well known. Each port specializes in different types of cargo. Yantian Port in Shenzhen is excellent for electronics and high-tech products, while Xiamen Port is known for handling textiles and consumer goods more efficiently. Even better, some ports have special areas where you can combine shipments or make last-minute packaging changes without paying extra customs fees. These zones can be a game changer if you're importing different products from multiple suppliers in the same region. Plus, certain ports have better relationships with specific shipping lines, which means more frequent departures and potentially better rates for your cargo. Speaking of making smart choices with your shipping strategy, there's another crucial aspect that many newcomers overlook. That is 2, navigating peak shipping seasons. Everyone knows about Chinese New Year, but did you know there are actually 5 major peak seasons that affect shipping from China? Each of these periods comes with its own challenges and opportunities. The Golden Week in October, for instance, sees shipping rates spike by up to 15 to 30%, while the summer peak season from July to September is when most retailers stock up for the holiday season. Besides, there are also mini peak seasons that most buyers don't know about. For example, the 2 weeks before and after the Dragon Boat Festival in June often see a rise in shipping activity. During these times, not only the prices go up, but finding space on ships becomes very difficult. However, if you plan correctly, you can use these seasonal patterns to your advantage. Many suppliers offer special discounts during off-peak seasons, sometimes up to 20% off regular prices. Now that you know when to ship, let's talk about 3, mastering quality control systems. Over 30% of quality issues in imports aren't actually manufacturing defects, but rather misunderstandings about specifications. That's why having a good quality check system is so important during shipping process. The good news is you don't need to spend money on third-party inspection companies to ensure quality. There are several levels of quality control you can implement, starting with basic photos and videos of production, all the way up to detailed lab testing. For example, for a shipment of 1,000 units, you might only need to inspect 80 pieces to get a significant quality assessment. Remember to also request production samples at different stages, beginning, middle, and end of the production run. This helps ensure consistency throughout the entire shipping process. Once you've got your quality control system in place and you're confident your products meet your standards, it's time for the exciting part, actually getting your goods from the factory to your warehouse. This is step 4, arranging cargo transport. A smart choice is to work with a freight forwarder. Think of a freight forwarder as your shipping expert who arranges and organizes the entire journey of your products. They'll help you find the most cost-effective shipping rates, consolidate shipments if needed, and make sure your cargo arrives on time. You've got 3 main options for shipping from China: air express, air freight, or sea freight. Air express services like UPS, DHL, and FedEx are the speed ones of international shipping. Air freight sits nicely in the middle, offering a balance between speed and cost. It's faster than sea freight, but more economical than express express services for medium-sized shipments. Sea freight is your cost-effective source for larger shipments, and sea freight shipping rates are quoted by container volume, not weight. This means you can fit as much as possible into a container for one flat rate, but it does have a weight limit as well. A 40-foot container might cost you around $5,000 to $8,000, regardless of how much you pack into it. One thing to note, air and sea freight shipments are typically booked from port to port. This means you'll need your freight forwarder to arrange the final delivery to your warehouse. Step 5, preparing for shipment arrival. When your shipment is getting close to arrival, the customs will notify you if you're using air or sea freight. This gives you time to prepare all necessary documentation and arrangements. During this preparation phase, you'll want to have all your custom documents organized and ready. Having everything in order helps avoid delays and extra storage fees at the port. Something that often confuses new importers is understanding Incoterms. These are the international commercial terms that define the seller's and the buyer's responsibilities. The 4 main terms you'll encounter are EXW, ex-works, FOB, free on board, CIF, cost insurance and freight, and DDP, delivered duty paid. With EXW, the supplier only handles the goods at their warehouse in China. You're responsible for everything else. FOB, the seller is responsible for delivering the goods to the port of shipment. Once the goods are on board, the risk transfers to the buyer. The buyer pays for ocean freight, insurance, and all costs after departure. CIF, cost, insurance, and freight, is another commonly used Incoterm. It specifies that the seller is responsible for covering the cost of the goods, insurance, and freight to the destination port. DDP is the most comprehensive. The supplier handles everything from their factory right to your door, including customs clearance. Now, let's talk about customs clearance. If you are importing less than container load or full container load shipment, you don't have to physically visit the port. Everything can be handled by a customs broker. For successful customs clearance, here are some required documents importers must submit. Bill of lading, BL, which is the proof of shipment. Commercial invoice, including details of the goods, value, and seller-buyer info. Packing list, including the detailed packing of the goods, the weight, and the dimensions. Customs bond, required for shipments over $2,500. Entry summary, declares goods to U.S. Customs. Import security filing, ISF, for ocean shipments, must be filed at least 24 hours before loading at origin. For all of those documents, you don't need to draft them yourself. Your supplier and freight forwarder will help you in preparing all these documents correctly. That's it, your complete guide to arrange shipping from China. Ready to start your China sourcing journey? Tell me in the comments which step you're not sure yet. I'd love to start a conversation with you. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.